If you could first maybe tell me the story of how you first came to yoga.
Well, I was a unhealthy child in my house. I was a parasite. If I played one day, 7 days I was in bed. And I suffered from birth, I can say, till the age of 22, 23. So that was the life which I thought was really telling on my mind. Is it worth living? Though I started yoga when I was 14 years. But health only I realized after 7, 8 years of practice.
What was your guru's name?
Krishnamacharya.
And he had started a school.
He had a school because he is a Pandit of the palace. The Maharaja of Mysore was keen that the royal family should learn yoga. So a yoga institute called Yoga Shala was started in the Jagannath Palace, which you must have seen. Now it's art gallery. So in the Jagannath Palace, it was given for the yoga classes to run, morning and evenings, for the royal families. Outsiders, very few were given permission to join the palace school. So I was one of them, and I got the chance and I learned. And that's how the destiny made me to take to yoga. Not that I had any inclination to learn yoga.
Could you tell me a little bit about the method of yoga that Krishnamacharya was teaching there?
Well, it's very difficult for a boy of 14, 15 years to analyze what my Guruji was, what type of yoga was teaching or something like that, Well, I can say it's like a drill system to a very great extent. Because royal family members, when they are practicing, so they are all martial people. So for martial people, meditation is not going to help them. So naturally my Guruji must have thought that for these martial people, like martial art, yoga has to become a martial art to train them. So these rigorous movements, what you call today vinyasa, is jumping movements from asana to asana, which you have seen my film also, 1938 film. So that was the way he was teaching.
It's interesting when I went to the Jagannath Palace and looked at the entry, the archive entry of where they list the name or the date at which time the shala was opened, and all it says is it's for that they opened this yoga shala for the physical education and health and well-being.
I said martial people means what? You should know the background. So that was the background. No? Philosophy cannot be explained there because the martial people don't want philosophy, they want vanity. So accordingly, jumpings are the only best method to create vanity.
Krishnamacharya's yoga is still it's very popular with the Westerners. It's actually what I practice, is the jumping and stuff like that.
Say jumping for what? I told because youngsters want show off. So for certain age, as a martial children, youth have that quality, of Kshatriya Dharma, martial, character in their mentality.
Well, I'm just wondering what your opinion of whether you think it's constructive for someone like me, who's 30 years old, started yoga a few months ago, whether it's constructive for me to pursue that kind of yoga.
You pursue, whether you can do it later, that's what I'm saying. Up to 40 years you can do. Afterwards you will find heart start beating, head becoming hot, then what will you do?
Iyengar Yoga?
That's all you have to, that's why I had to change.
Yeah.
I changed the system because, 60-year man, if I talk him jump and go to Shirshasana, what would happen?
He would break.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I know so many cases where they did jumpings and retina of the eyes had come. They displaced retina, which I had to put correctly afterwards. They came to me, I worked. So I said, don't do jumpings because it does not hold. Your eyes are weak, how can you do jumpings? For children, yes, they can do. Because they are all healthy.
And how did you come to Pune?
I was invited by Dr. B.B. Gokule when I gave a demonstration in Belgaum. he said, anatomically I have not seen such movements. He had in mind that this is the finest I have seen as a medical man. He was a surgeon, he was a physician. So he said, this is the best for local people to learn. And he invited me for 6 months. I am still in Pune. From that 6 months has continued for 65 years now.
And you would just tell them, this is good for your physical health.
That's all, health. Health, people do not know. What is health? They say, oh, I'm physically healthy. But others, they don't say anything. I'm healthy or unhealthy, right? But health has got different features. Yama Niyama has, you have got 7 states of awareness. There are 7 states of health. Conquest of the body, conquest of the breath, conquest of the indriyas, conquest of the mind, conquest of the intelligence, conquest of the consciousness, conquest of the conscience, or the various awareness in the practice of yoga. So similarly, you have to compare. When there are so many stages, then there must be physical health, there must be ethical health, there must be a mental health, there must be an intellectual health, there must be a conscious health, there must be a conscientious health. You may be healthy, but conscientious health, suppose you are a libertarian, how can you say I'm healthy? Tell me. So health also you have to study. So the last is divine health. So when conscientious is pure, you experience the divine health. Till then the health is just compartmental, not total. So holistic health, nobody knows. They use the word holistic health. But ask them, what is holistic health? There are holes and that is holistic health. But here we close the holes and that is what is holistic health. Huh? You know, Pune in those days was famous for wrestling in 1930s. So when I started doing, because it's on a physical level, then 1 or 2 years later they started asking that we are doing the physical type and you are also doing, what difference is there? So why yoga? We can do this alone, because that was very predominant, wrestling. Then I thought that I have to think in what way I have to learn to make this more attractive. I learned, to tell you, as a photographer takes the profile of the face, I thought that in each asana the profile is this. Suppose my foot is the profile, in what way I have to place the foot to get the correct attraction of the people to see the foot alone. So this way I started developing it.
What was it that empowered you to improve upon it? Was it the modern way of looking at the body?
No, not at all. When the students started questioning me, saying that is it right, is it wrong, suppose they get a stretch on the Shirshasana, some pain, then I have to think. So in where the leg gone, which part the body has taken away, so what have I to do?
So the modifications were driven by your students and
gradually.
Their needs. Yeah.
For example, just now, you will be surprised to know. Now, even if I read, how many years you have done yoga?
28.
Huh?
28.
28 years. Mm-hmm. Now see, here I am writing about Shirshasana. Huh? It's hard to learn this asana, yet I hope you understand. And learn to do comfortably by extending and elevating the sides of the trunk. Did you know that?
No.
Now can you say now? So this is secret. 28 years. Now how can you get the knowledge? See how difficult it is for me. So Shirshasana means if the side of the side trunk is kept alert, the balance comes. And nobody knows. Everybody struggles with their hands. Because you open your chest, you elongate the chest, the front chest is longer, side chest is shorter. And that's why I said I've given the clue how to do the correct pose. Extending and elongating, see, elevating the sides of the trunk. I've added just today. So is it not a new knowledge to me also to give?
So you're still learning things.
Yes. Yeah. I want my students to do like that. Then I'm very happy.
Yeah.
I said some good thing has gone. So let them develop, that's all I say.
How did your guru react to your innovations? I mean, you were at this point creating your
Well,
own
he never knew for years that I was changing. And if you want to know, I had been to, after coming to Pune, several times he used to call me whenever he used to give lectures in various parts. He used to call me to come and give demonstrations. So even a demonstration, he had forgotten the names of the asanas, then you said, do what you wanted to do. Then you tell the name of the asana. So that even, when, what you say, out of sight, out of mind. So here it happened, in my Guru's case, that he lost the names of the asanas which he was teaching in the Yogashala. Because nobody were following it. No?
And at what point did some of the philosophical and spiritual teachings of yoga enter?
The philosophical teaching came to me only after 1960, not before. Probably, that's what I said, I was a mild or average intellectual, so the subject couldn't go into my head. There are 4 types of practitioners: mild, average, intense, and keenly vehement. So what types of students we get? Patanjali said it, but nobody quotes that. If they quote, then they will be nowhere. So an average person, he will enjoy the effect according to his average practice. A mild practitioner will definitely get only mild effect of yoga. A keen student will get only a little more effect, sharper, but vehemently keen. For him, he is very sharp, so he grasps very fast. So the progress is fast.
That's not me.
That was also not for me. But now I learned. I said, what is the difference? So I gathered that what Patanjali said is correct. I was also mild. I said I was suffering from tuberculosis. Do you mean to say I could do like that? I told you it took me 6 years after yoga to gain health. But then only I had to think of, then health was not there. What can I think of philosophy? Tell me. So health was not coming. So I was struggling, just let me stand on my feet. That was all my interest. So 22nd year, I could stand. I felt that I am now healthy. It so happened that I think I give credit to Yogdimanian. For the simple reason, when he invited me, I started almost coming in contact with the cream of the world, because he was one of the cream of the world. So I could not come in contact with ordinary people then, but I was an ordinary human being. Then I was interviewed by the Times of India, the correspondent, at the airport, because somebody said that I had been to Yogdimanian, because he was the man of those days, So naturally it attracted people that there must be something. And at that time I opened. I said, no, I will go for the common man. Then went to America and other places. Then they came back spreading to India now. I am grateful to Mr. Manian and others who were philosophers, and through them, in they were talking, they were discussing. I used to get points. By the grace of God, probably my inner intelligence grasping and was knowing in which way I had to talk to them and present them my philosophy.
So it was Yehudi Menuhin and other Westerners.
Yes.
So it's interesting. I never would have guessed, an Indian yoga master learns about the yogic philosophy.
My friend, because I've come from I told you that from their poverty, and who is there to guide a poor man, an orphan? Rare cases it happens, not in all cases. So naturally I had to culture myself.
And which philosophies worked and which didn't? What did you embrace at that point as guiding principles for your yoga?
When, I being a practical man in the yogic field, so when the philosophy is academical, I used to drop off. So anything which can be factually felt, I used to accept that, but which is only academical, I used to drop it. I say it's only dry subject. Then I had to find in my practice how to develop philosophy. Today only I explained to them, samatvam yoga uchyate. You heard, na? Yes. Equanimity is yoga. But what is equanimity? It's alignment. So if I use the alignment, people laugh. If they use the word, traditional word equanimity, oh, it's yoga. So without alignment, how can equanimity come? If the right toe in Shirshasana faces the right wall, the left toe faces the left wall, then you do Shirshasana, then where is equanimity? So you have to bring alignment. No? Alignment is a technique for equanimity. So I use the technique of the word alignment, but I was finding how to find the equal spacing, equal action, equal feeling on 2 legs, 2 hands, 4 hemispheres of the brain. All these things have to be considered, not only the physical body, my right ear, my left ear, how the left ear balances, how the right ear balances. So that my tongue touches the right side of the palate or the left side of the palate, why it is touching the right side, why it is not touching the left side. So these subtle imprints started coming to me, and which I established and made it as a science.
What do you think of the way that your teachings have been, because there's an evolution when it's taught in the United States.
From where my Guruji left, I proceeded. I want my students to proceed from where I left. That's all. This is as simple as it is.
So yoga.
Science is progressing. Art is progressing. So yoga is being an art, a science, it has to progress. Otherwise it's stagnation again. And somebody have to come to life to revolutionize again.
What is, as you understand it today, what is the goal of yoga?
Goal. Want to be free from the afflictions of the body and mind. So when the afflictions are gone, one is in the heaven. So what more you want to ask for that? So to be free, so that all other actions can be done without inflicting pains on others or on oneself. And that is the aim of yoga.
The way you're describing it, it's a preparation for receiving the spiritual.
No doubt it's a preparation, but everything is hidden in it also.
Health consciousness in India is growing up.
Is growing.
And also because of modern science,
correct.
Western science?
Mingling of both.
So in a way it's interesting, it seems
yes,
like...
There is a mingling of the Western feeling in the Eastern mind.
And that's also contributing to the development of yoga.
Definitely is contributing. I told you it has come back to India. The wind is blowing. It didn't blow for years. I went to England, then it started blowing that side. Now the wind is whirlwind, we call it, so it is coming back to India.
Well, it's a fascinating thing because the typical idea of yoga is that, it's this thing from India, but what we see is it not?
No, it's not from India. It was originated, that's all. But it concerns the human being. That's why the very word Patanjali has used, he has used the word, it is Sarvabhauma, means universal culture. He never uses a Hindu culture. He has used the word universal culture. That's the beauty of his word. So it stands for the humanity.
These days, life is so complicated, it seems like. Is it still possible in this modern world to...
If it was not possible, yoga would have died long ago, my friend. It's still surviving. Why? That itself is enough for proof that it is an immortal subject will remain immortal forever.